Hello, welcome.
Thank you so much.
What a pleasure it is to meet you.
The pleasure is mine, I assure you.
Good, come on in.
Thank you. Please allow me to thank you once again for meeting me in the privacy of your home, rather than at the restaurant.
Oh, I completely understand, absolutely.
I just didn't,
May I?
didn't want to deal with the paparazzi in my face today.
Of course. Please, make yourself comfortable, make yourself at home. Would you like a refreshment, coffee, tea? I'm actually one of the few people in town around who can make a decent cup of tea.
I'm sure that's true. No thank you, I'm fine.
Right, okay, good. So, I know your schedule's tight, so we're going to just get started. And the way I like to do this is to just ask you a few questions about your life. Then when we get comfortable, we'll just roll with the dialogue.
All right.
Good. Would you like to have a seat?
No, actually, I prefer to stand if you don't mind. I've been sitting on your 405 for most of the day.
Ah, yes, the famous 405. Right. Well, my first question is, what do you think is your most admirable quality?
You know, I really do love this view that you have here. It's quite beautiful.
Yeah, it is. So, what do you think is your most admirable quality?
Right, sorry. How about that I'm quite beautiful? Right?
Well, of course you are. I'm sorry. Are you asking my opinion?
No. Mr. Thompson, I don't have to ask you. You either are or you're not, and I most certainly am. Voted People Magazine's sexiest woman alive. Did you know that? How's that? Is that good? Is that what you want me to say?
I want you to say whatever you want to say.
Well, I just thought I'd make this as quick and easy on both of us as possible. Next question.
Right. What do you like to do in your spare time?
Right. I love this one. This one's easy. You see, I'm nothing more than a party girl. So all I ever like to do is to go to functions and clubs with all of my very famous friends. That is what all the tabloids say, so it must be true.
Is it true?
Does it matter?
I'm not quite sure where we're going with this, Miss Evans.
My apologies, Mr. Thompson. Perhaps I should enlighten you on a conclusion of mine. Would you like to hear it?
Yes, I would.
Is that recording, by the way?
Yeah.
Perfect. Ready?
Absolutely.
The truth doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
No, not one bit. You see, Mr. Thompson, you're going to write whatever you want to write. And ultimately, the people are going to believe whatever they want to believe. It doesn't really matter what I say. The only real truth here is that I probably didn't really need to be here at all, did I? Oh wait, of course, except this is usually my favorite part, when you guys write, almost poetically, in great detail, what I happen to be wearing. Or maybe a nice tidbit would be how I like to prepare my tea. 2 lumps of sugar placed delicately.
If you're referring to comments my former colleague made to the press on behalf of the magazine, I deeply apologize.
Oh, you deeply apologize? That's very kind of you, Mr. Thompson. But don't you worry. It wasn't just Mr. Stevens when he slaughtered me in the media. It's all of you. It's everyone, really. You see, that entire world out there has me all summed up, and apparently it's too late to turn the tides. Though I must say, since we are on tape, I often do find it remarkable that people, governed, of course, by the words of the media, will so graciously allow a hardened criminal to have a change of heart much faster than they will a celebrity who happens to have lived a privileged life. Oh, but wait, I see where we're going with this. Don't worry, this is not the sob story.
And what sob story would that be?
Oh, you know, the one where the celebrity starts to complain about how hard her life is because she can't go anywhere without the cameras constantly in her face and blah, blah, blah. I'm far wiser than that, Mr. Thompson. You see, I have been playing this game for most of my life. And it is a game. Just a big, ridiculous game. Nothing more, nothing less. And the truth is, the media and I have used each other in an equally lovely manner. The only mistake that I've made recently is that I thought I could actually change it.
And what would you change if you could?
My goodness. Brilliant, sir. Please don't. I prefer that you didn't. You really are very good at what you do, you know. This must be the part where you act like you care.
I do.
Mr. Thompson, we don't have to play games with each other here. We're both far too experienced for that.
I'm not playing games with you, Miss Evans.
I know what you want, and you're not going to get it. Not today.
What is it that you think I want?
The story. The story. That one burning question. I can see it in your eyes. You're practically drooling for it. Yes, that one. Do you know how many times I've foolishly poured out my heart to a reporter or a journalist, telling them all my greatest ambitions, my fears, my dreams, only to every single time pick up that interview and find they somehow magically took some passing comment I may have made about a man I happen to be dating or a celebrity I happen to have lunch with and turned that into the entire focal point of the interview. It's amazing. Oh, and of course, let us never forget the importance of what I happen to be wearing.
Well, first of all, I'm not that kind of reporter. And secondly, I actually do care about what you have to say.
I'm sure you do, Mr. Thompson. I'm sure that you do. Actually, that's not true. I won't be sure until I actually read your article, which I most likely will not.
This is proving to be quite a challenging interview, Miss Evans.
Oh, fancy that. Celebrity giving a member of the press a difficult day. Funny when the tables turn, isn't it?
I'm really not sure what this is all about. I mean, it's quite obvious you're not interested in answering any of my questions.
But that's it in itself, don't you see? Oh, that's what we should have done this entire time. Allow me, may I? All right. Spoiled celebrity socialite waltzes into interview with an attitude the size of, let's get this in here, the size of which rivals the entire view of downtown Los Angeles. Refuses to answer any of my questions truthfully, but does so instead with an air of something, utter mockery, right? Only to then prematurely storm out, announcing as she leaves that she will most definitely be letting her agents, plural, know how displeased she was with the entire interview. Oh my goodness, Mr. Thompson, I do believe I missed my calling. I should have been a writer. And by the way, you do have my permission to use that, and now both of our jobs are done.
I'm really not sure why you're here. I mean, it's clear that you don't want to be doing this interview at all.
Act as if I had a choice, Mr. Thompson.
Didn't you?
Despite what you or the world may think of me, there are many things that are very far out of my control, sir.
Like the way the UN treated you with your Gambia proposal?
Wow, Mr. Thompson. Will I ever cease to be amazed at what you people will do to get a rise out of me?
I mean it. I want to know about the orphanage you're starting in Gambia.
This subject is off limits. Do you understand me? Off limits. And might I add that this is a new low even for someone like you.
I've been following this story and I believe I have context across...
You know what? Enough, okay? This interview is over. You understand me? And you no longer have my permission to use anything that I say from this point forward.
My father still has very solid contacts at the UN. I'd like to do a full
You know what?
story.
Stop it! This is not something for you to mock, Mr. Thompson. You understand me? Not you or anyone. Especially someone like you who probably wants to do nothing more than just put it in bold on the cover of your fucking pop magazine.
That's not what this is about.
Isn't it? Isn't this what this is about? Isn't this what you've been waiting for all day? Well done!
What happened to the girl?
Stop it!
What happened to the girl who inspired you to open
How
the
dare
orphanage?
you? How dare you?
I really want to know.
Do you? Do you really want to know? You really want to hear how she was found, beaten, and raped at the bottom of a fucking ditch? There's your story, Mr. Thompson. Are you happy?
I'm so very, very, very sorry.
I bet you are.
No, I really am. And for what it's worth, I believe you. I believe you can make this happen.
Well, you'd be the first.
And I want you to know I'll do anything I can to help you.
If that's even remotely true, then why don't you show up in Gambia on the 24th? I'm doing a press conference. And we'll see who you really are. Please.